This conference will now be recorded.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Cram Session number 3. My name is Doug Baber. I'm the Certification Director for HR Florida. Tonight, we've got with us an amazing guest instructor who's going to help us out with some information. Jon Petz, I'll introduce him in just a second. Just kind of wanted to go through a few housekeeping rules as people are logging in and signing up. Today, in this Cram Session, we're going to try to get through as many as we can, questions as we can, and we'll put our questions. I'll read the questions, we'll put our answers into the message box, or you can shout it out if you feel really confident about it. A lot of times Karen will turn a microphone on and say, hey, this is the answer because. And it's usually not the answer that I gave, so we like to make fun of me. We don't make fun of anybody else, just me. And then we have Jon here for our entertainment. But we'll kind of have a good time and kind of enjoy it. Remember, we're recording these, so try to keep it PG. We do put all these on HR Florida's website. So we're on the certification page. So now we have about 7 on there now. So we'll do another one in the next testing window. We're going to have several more classes coming up. And we just hope to have a good time and be able to watch these as often as possible and kind of go back and again, laugh at me when I miss a question. So feel free. So tonight, without further ado, I'm going to introduce our guest instructor. So I use that term very loosely, Jon, just so you know.
Please. I'm not sure what I'm instructing yet.
So Jon Petz, everybody's seen him through HR Florida. He's been our amazing MC for years, and he's known and loved around the HR community. He's a 2-time bestseller authors list there, motivational keynote speaker. Magician is one of my favorite things. Some of his charity work that he does is just amazing. The guy just keeps giving. I think he's in Ohio right now. I can't really know for sure. He travels around all over the place, but he was just recently in Florida. He's always looking for a good time. If you need him, find him. But he's in the bourbon room for the way I understand it right now. And Jon, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you got going on, maybe some C-suite information you've got coming up, anything you want to think about for a couple minutes.
That's a good question to ask. That's cool. I am not in Florida. I was in Florida a week and a half ago, and actually last night I booked a trip back middle of March. I'm gonna come for a week in March, decided. So your state is a place that I love because there's a foot of snow right here, and I'm finally I don't call me a snowbird, call me whatever, call me a hopefully full-time resident sometime soon, but that's my intention. What's new? I haven't, like I said, not traveling a whole lot. I've helped a ton of folks kind of take their conferences virtual and produce hybrids. Probably the most experienced hybrid speaker out there right now, because I have gone to some live events and helped them create them in a nice, safe, secure way. The C-suite stuff, joined, it's the nation's largest business podcast. It's nationally syndicated. They want me to shoot some C-suite TV episodes, which are Roku and Apple TV. Play on United Airlines if you're a United Airlines player or flyer. Podcast will start in end of March. Hopefully, it'll be the first one. And it's going to be Gobsmacked is going to be the name of it, which is all about having unique ideas and ideas that smack you across the face, but simple ideas that have impactful results. And it's a series of CEOs that I'll have interviews with and some kind of sports celebrities as well. So it'll be a lot of fun and kind of uncovering their secrets to their success. Their gobsmacked ideas. That is a fun word to say, gobsmacked.
No, all it makes me think of is like if sometimes you get some ribs and the sauce is like smack your mama good. That's the that's all I kept thinking of it whenever you said that. When I was going to get to sneak that line in there. I didn't know when I was going to get to throw that in there, so I appreciate that.
I'm still trying to get
Jon, I appreciate you taking the time tonight. I know you got a million things going on, but I do appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us. It was a good advertisement to get everybody excited for session number 3, and we like to have a different guest each time, and I do appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Looking forward to being here. I miss Florida. I miss all of you. Thank you for joining.
Should be good. We have some seasoned veterans on here. Is anybody taking the test this week? Anybody coming up later in our group getting ready to take the test, or just took the test? Or no. Last week we had a lady pass. She was here. She studied. The next day she passed the exam. I credit all you guys. I think Marianne helped her pass. We will give you all the credit, man. Appreciate that. So she didn't join us tonight. She thought about it, but she didn't join. All right, so let me share this other screen, and we'll switch it up so you guys can see the classes here. The class. Share.
Marina, Alexis, Lane, I can't see you for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Your cameras must not be working, but Karen, I can't see you. Sure, I can hear you, but can't see you. Michelle.
Probably driving. Give them a little credit that they're driving home or something like that.
That could be.
Everybody see the question that popped up now? Let's share the screen. All right, so the first one's on career development. So John, we'll just I'll read the question and I'll go through the answers, and then everybody will kind of pick their answers, and there's no cheating by reading ahead. I see you Googling. I see you. We'll get this one going and put your answers in the chat box, and we'll try to pick the right one and why, and then we'll move on. What development approach best suited for senior leaders? University courses, conferences, executive coaching, and training seminars. So A, B, C, or D, if you got to put it in the thing. So we're looking about for senior leaders, which one I think everybody would like to go to. You know, if it's, I know who the MC in the room would probably pick, right? If you're going to keep your livelihood going, you would probably say conferences, right?
No, man, executive coaching. I coach a lot of folks. It's a good thing.
Oh, that's right. Mentoring. C hitting it hard. All right, we'll go with C right out of the gates. I just figured if you wanted to go to a conference. Factory workers in the assembly department are assigned. Oops. Sorry. Factory workers from the assembly department are assigned to the shipping department every other week. Which type of career development program are these workers participating in? Mentoring, job rotation, job enrichment, and replacement planning. So if they're rotating, right, they're doing different options so that they can make themselves more valuable. Somebody calls out sick, they can work there. You got enrichment is also good, or job sharing. I don't see that one on the list, but I do like B. Jon Petz popped in with a solid B out of the gates. Is it 2 B's in a row? Sherm test that would be enough. All B's. There we go. Keep it moving.
Hey, I could be in HR.
You know what? When are you taking your test, John?
I think I am right now.
Pretty much on the spot. How can management best establish a culture that values career development in the individual development plan? IDP. Have supervisors coach employees on career concerns, link career development to business objectives, assign employees responsibility for their own IDPs, ask HR to implement career paths for employees. So we're looking for management's best establish a culture at career development. So we're looking to figure out how they can best, make their people perform. So if they link the career development to business objectives, which is B, that's a solid answer. Or call HR. That's the one that's the general answer, right? So I would go with B myself. Is it 3 B's in a row?
The first one
Everybody
was
else
a B.
says B. Lori says B. She's quiet right now, but she picked B. There we go. Good job, guys.
Well, if they're driving, they're
term?
doing pretty good for driving and typing answers at the same time. I don't think Lane Amy's driving, or Michelle.
Lane Amy, she's driving. Be careful out there. I heard there's a foot of snow in Ohio. Which term best describes a job? Job design strategy that increases the variety of responsibilities, but requires the same skill level: specialization, enrichment, simplification, and enlargement. So always look for the keywords within the question, job design strategy. I think it's Paula, if you put E, we're gonna have a tough time finding E. Maybe you meant to say, maybe you meant to say W. B, anybody? Another B, for chance? Always B, sometimes C, never D. Ooh, never D, I blew that one, didn't I? Enlargement. So job enlargement attempts to alleviate the boredom and low morale associated with excessive job simplification. Can't win them all. Which is a trend in career development that HR team leader must consider before engaging in career planning with team members? The employee is expected to assume greater individual responsibility for career development. The career trajectory is longer, and employees may have to wait longer for each position's responsibility. Employees will be more successful in career development as they focus on developing their own functions. The employer is expected to lead the process of career development by promoting employees along the traditional career path. So career development that is an HR team leader must consider before engaging in career planning with team members. Thinking about, you can't put B again, right? Did you put B? Anybody put it for B?
I don't know.
Like, that's the only good answer that I see. Somebody said A, Sheila. All right, so the employee is expected to assume greater individual responsibility with career development. Yeah. A, another A. All right, guessing A. C is that employees will be more successful in career development if they focus on developing their current functions. Pass. Hard pass. I got several A's. I think we're going to go A. Karen, you said D. I'm on board with you there. We would have been wrong. All right, career development. We set HR back 20% that time. So this next session's on developing leaders. Before we do that, John, when you're doing one of those things and your daughter's putting those blades through the box, does she ever like nick you a little bit, or is it like?
Does she ever what?
Is it ever nicked you? You know, like the big knife that she sticks through the box. I mean, does it ever touch your arm?
There's many of blood moments in that trick, actually. Many.
I don't know. I'm claustrophobic. All right, developing leaders. Which factor is the most important to consider when an organization is seeking to globalize its leadership development program? Executive buy-in at each location for the leadership development program, the individual candidates who have potential to assume leadership roles, the culture in each country as it affects how leaders emerge, the organization's internal culture as it affects the leader's development. So we're looking to find out the most important thing to consider. So look for the most important answers. There's a couple in here that are right. If they're going to seeking to globalize its leadership. So if the culture in the country, that's one of the most important things that I see. You know, if you're going to promote somebody, you want to know if it's fair for them to get that. So I like C. I see Karen, Amy, Lori, everybody else has got C.
I was going to answer something different, and then I looked at the thing and I cheated, and I'm now embarrassed, so I didn't answer.
Well, you were going to say C, right? Or were you going to say pass? Pass. That was a good answer, pass.
Something else. I would have been wrong.
That's the fun part, man. Just being vulnerable for a minute, you know, just going out there. An organization is experiencing low morale and decreased in performance due to recent budget cuts and staff shortages. Which offering should HR recommend to most notably boost morale and performance among employees? More communication and feedback, flexible work schedules, certificates of achievements and rewards, new office equipment, and work tools. So they just laid everybody off. They're gonna buy a bunch of new copiers and tools, right? That's not it. It's got to be employee of the month programs, more communication, more feedback. How about A? Lori says A twice. I got A. Marianne says A. She's the resident pro here. We follow her. All right, nice job.
She's the
HR
resident
team member. What was that?
Who's the resident pro? Marianne?
Yeah. She's.
Or do we go by Mary?
Mary. Yeah, she knows what she's doing. An HR team member has recently promoted to the team leader position. He is anxious about making the transition. What should the employee focus on in this new role? Encouraging lack of conflict within the team, clarifying his authority with all team members, developing and coaching team members, promoting office social gatherings. You move into a new leader position, right? It's like going to jail where you go in and punch the biggest guy in the face. That's not it. John's thinking here. He's trying. He's trying to decide between B and C. My name, he said C. Developing and coaching team members. What should the employee focus on in his new role? I don't know, bourbon rooms? C, everybody's going C. I don't know, I know it's not the answer. I don't like C, by the way. I think that he needs to go in and say, look, I know I've been your next to you in line all day long, you know, and now I'm going to be your supervisor. I'm going to need you to show me that respect. But I would pick B, but I'd be wrong. Totally wrong. Nice job. Which term is best described as traditionally higher level leadership responsibilities being transferred to leaders at lower levels? Leadership training, job expansion, task migration, and delegation. This is what we all do, right? D, delegate. I'm gonna need you to do me a favor. Can you just start working on this project and then pass it off to me and I'll take all the credit. Thank you. D. Whoops.
Task migration. That must be the new
That occurs
definition.
when traditionally higher level leadership responsibilities are transferred to leaders at lower levels. I mean, it makes sense, but oh well. Nice job, team. It is estimated that 1/3 of the Fortune 500 CEOs have remained in their positions fewer than 3 years. What does this indicate about executive development? Executives have strong people management skills, but lack knowledge and intellect to outperform the competition. Executives have the people skills and intellect to succeed, but lack of personal drive and initiative to manage change. Executives are open to change and have the skills to succeed, but not getting honest feedback about their performance. Executives have the knowledge and intellect to succeed, but the lack of people skills to build teams or maintain productive relationships.
Wow.
I thought it's because it's easier to fire the people at the top, right? Strong people management skills, but lack the knowledge and intellect to outperform the competition. That's not it. They worked hard to get there. Anybody say anything yet? D. Karen, is that D for this answer or is that last answer? D. Executives have the knowledge and intellect, but lack the people skills. That sucks. I mean, I got to remember this is the CP versus the SCP exam. So this is what SHRM says the answer should be, not what you would really think in real life. D.
And I have issues with that.
D is the correct answer. Nice job. This impairs their ability to learn from mistakes.
So they lack the people skills?
I don't know how you get to that spot. You get on top of the mountain. You stay on top of the mountain. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I mean,
I would have gone E.
Everybody else is smarter than us because they got it right. All right, we finished that little section there. Nice job, team. Next one on the agenda is going to be total rewards. Right? Yeah. So I did speak to somebody that took the SCP test today, and she called me and she was upset she didn't pass. She did say that it's a lot of globalization, a lot of stuff dealing with people in other countries. And those of you that have your SCP on here probably agree. A lot of higher level thinking, that type of stuff. So she was a little disappointed. She had studied really hard, but I told her to get back on the horse and come to this class tonight. She thought she took the day off, so I don't blame her. But which is the most important factor an HR leader should use when planning pay increases? HR systems, financial implication, HR workload, employee support. Most important factor HR leaders should use when planning pay increases. Well, do we have the money? That's what I do. I find out what everybody else is doing, then I call the county administrator and I say, sir, I'd like to do this. And he says, well, where are you going to get $3 million? Financial implication. That's good. I like B myself. B. All right. Nice job. This thing keeps getting away. An HR manager discovers a discrepancy between an organization's current compensation policy and the laws of the location the organization operates in. Which is the best step for the HR manager should take to address this? Determine which regulation most benefits the employee. Ask the CEO his opinion on what approach is best. Investigate regulations and most benefit the organization. Request that the government agency provide recommended approach. I think you just, it's better to ask for forgiveness than what, John? Permission?
Permission. Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Or you don't even ask forgiveness. You just keep going.
Just drive on.
No.
Oh, man. So you're going to want to find out. I think the employee is going to have something to do with it here at the top. Everybody else has said C, but if you're going to change the rules on them, wouldn't you want to know, like, I don't know if you're violating the employee or not, if you thought of it that way. If you're, just for example, this week, I had a pay discrepancy from a union employee that came to me and said that their supervisor changed their time by 1 minute, 2 times in the pay period, because we have a grace period. So if it's 07, you get 15 minutes of overtime. If it's, or 08, you get 15 minutes of overtime. If it's 07, it goes backwards and you don't get that 7 minutes. So they changed it back because she was just standing there watching for it to clock out. Like once it clicked 8, so she get 15 minutes of overtime 2 different times. So they changed it back, didn't tell her. So she called the union and grieved it. I had to go and tell her that I was going to pay that money to her, but if she did it again, we would do some discipline. So we always try to err on the side of the employee, right, guys? Everybody, that didn't change any answers. C's are still going out there. I still like A. Yeah, A it is. D fresh. All right.
Well, Shelley always has good commentary on these. Not always, but she's got good extra answers.
Most benefits the employee. That's what I agree with her 100%. How does communicating the guiding principles behind employee pay support and effective compensation philosophy? It eliminates local conditions and pay considerations. It removes leadership from pay decisions. It guarantees how much employees are paid. It creates a framework for transparency. Communicating the guiding principles behind employee pay support and an effective compensation policy. So if they understand why they're getting it, they may not agree with it, but they at least are told about it. You're upfront and personal, transparent, all that kind of stuff. So I like D. It could be B. C is an opportunity, right? To be right. I think it's D, but you definitely guarantee them what they're going to pay them by putting it in writing. D. D it is. Shelley says D. All right, nice move. Most correct answer. After an acquisition, the HR director at the acquiring company is tasked with aligning the total reward system for both organizations. Which should the HR director review first? Mission and strategy, company payroll costs, organizational culture, current benefits providers. So they're going to buy the company, acquire the company. Which should the HR director review first? If it's I don't know, higher level thinking, mission type of stuff, mission, vision, strategy. It's not like we're buying it. See if it matches what we currently got. A, I see a couple A's there. I don't know. I was seeing the question.
I'm going against the grain.
Would you go with C? So I see the HR director, they're aligning the company, the total reward system of both organizations. So I guess they're looking for something that's very similar. But culture. John says culture.
That's the first thing.
See, Shelley, what do you got an A? Karen, uh-oh. All right, perfect. Nice job, guys.
See, I think you'd want to know a little bit about the other organization. You got to do mission and strategy, sure, but I want to ask some questions about people first, right?
Yeah, I mean, what are they? What are they about? What do they do?
You can just tell me. Okay.
Somebody's probably already done that, though, I guess, John. In addition to salary, health benefits, and welfare benefits, which items should be included in an individualized total compensation statement? Alternative work locations, paid time off, employee discount programs, or flexible work schedule. Work-life balance, big important thing, piece of the puzzle. Salary benefits and welfare benefits, which items should be included in each relation compensation statement? So paid time off counts for sure. B, all right. Total comp. Everybody says B. Good job. All right. So what do you guys think so far? We're doing good, feeling pretty strong. Did anybody sign up for the HR Tampa study group, Cram Session, anything? Anybody looking to doing that one? All right, compensation system design. This could be a good one. How does the broadbanding approach support egalitarian organization? By encouraging delayering efforts, by reducing the value of the pay ranges, by decreasing involvement at line managers, by restricting employee movement. So broadbanding is the big span of ranges, right? Big bands or whatever they called them back in the days. Support. So John went with E, all of the above.
No, I went with no. I don't know what egalitarian means.
I thought it was all of the above. So if we get a B in there, maybe something reducing the value of the pay ranges. I don't know, it gives people a chance to move between them or something like that, but we'll go B. Yeah. A, by encouraging delayering efforts. Reduce the number of reporting levels within an organization. That's true. It was hard to say egalitarian. I don't even know.
We need a little game show music.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'd like to hear that that pop off of that bottle a minute ago. That was good. A compensation and benefits specialist. Wait a minute. Hey, Alexa, can you play some game show music? Let's see what I got.
On Amazon Music.
No.
That's not game show music.
Yeah, I'll find one. I got one. Give me a minute. I got it.
Hey, Alexa, turn it off.
Keep
All
going.
right, compensation and benefits specialist conducted a salary data survey last year, but did not have the time to benchmark the results of the organization's pay structure. What action should the specialist take at this point in time? Leave the data to determine its relevance, weight the data compared to other survey data, age the data to make it current, complete redo the survey from the beginning. That's not happening. I'm surprised the cleanup song didn't come on when I turned on Alexa at my house.
I gotta see if my music's coming through. Did you hear that theme or no?
Nope, not yet.
No. All right. I gotta see if I gotta turn my music back on.
Age the data to make it current. So that's a good possibility that you do to kind of, so that way you don't have to start over. Let's see, somebody else said see good. We'll do that one while John's getting the some funky game show music going. I'm sure you got a playlist for game show music, right?
I got one playing. I got my mic. I don't have the whole studio plugged in, so I'm seeing if I can just get. So I'm actually playing music, but it should be coming through for you.
Yeah, starting to hear it a little bit. That's all right. That's right. John moved to a new house, the other side of Ohio.
Hold on, now I got music playing. Say that again.
Say it
When do I
again.
move?
No, so you just moved, right?
Move March 1st. Start moving.
Oh, coming up March 1st. All right.
Lose the bourbon room, unfortunately, and the
I can help
bar.
with that. I'll be over.
Yeah, I know you
Which
could.
is an advantage of using a point factor method in job evaluation. Provides documentation of an audit trail, easier for employees to understand, reduces administration, thus less time consuming. That's good. Relies on some degrees of judgment by evaluators, which is an advantage of using the point factor method in job evaluation. Easier for employees to understand, that's correct. Reduces administration, thus the less time consuming, that's not that one. Relies on some degree of judgment by evaluators, yes. I said I didn't like C and everybody else picked C. Oh, there's A, Mary, an A. Provides documentation on the audit trail, that's true. Subpar answers. We got A or C. Laura, you got C. You feel strongly about C? Sell it. Reduces administration, thus is less time consuming. I don't. Oh, wait, we got a D. Shelly, I agree with B, but we'll see. I'm not in the minority for there for sure, but definitely A too. I mean, it could be A. Jon Petz says A. We're gonna go A.
Yep.
He nailed it.
Dang.
Must have been that music. I usually copy what Mary says too, so
I'm following Mary's lead right now.
we all do. She's talking about teaching one of these at HR Florida coming up, so I think that would be a good pre-con or something. An exit interview assessment finds the primary reason employees leave is for better total rewards offered to their organization, which is the best action HR could take to gather information on competitive total reward packages to potentially offer its employees. Participate in an external remuneration survey that assesses competitiveness in the organization's current offerings. Survey employees to identify what total rewards the companies should offer to them. Conduct a focus group session for management input on the effectiveness of total rewards. That's not it. Send an internally developed survey to a local competitors asking what total rewards they offer. Not a bad idea. Participate in external remuneration survey to assess the competitiveness of the organization's current offerings. That's what anybody should do, right? A. Anyone? A. Lane Amy? A. Mary? A. Shelly? A. Mary? A. All right. There we go. Good job, team. What developing a pay structure? Which data set should the HR practitioner use during the development process? Overall points or values used during job evaluation? Information gathered from surveys, local markets, and like institutions? Average of low-paying and high-paying positions? Compiled job analysis, job documentation, job evaluation? When developing a pay structure, which data should the HR practitioner use to develop the process? Average low-paying and high-paying positions? Information gathered from surveys and local markets like institutions. I mean, that's the easy one, right? B. All right, Paula says B. We're going B, John. Drum roll. Compiled job analysis, job documentation, job evaluation.
Oh, jeez.
Job evaluation is the only one aspect of developing a pay structure. Not for us, it seems. Did you find that music yet, John? What happened?
You know, I have music. It is GoToMeeting is a different platform when you want to use virtual cameras and virtual mics. You have to set it up differently. So it's not as easy to the back end studio. No, I've got tracks I can play. They're all here. It just doesn't feed. It doesn't like outside audio into it. Only likes verbal audio. So I have it, but it's not. It says it's sending to it, but it's not sending to it in reality.
So if you play it like from Alexa, it doesn't work, right?
Well, if you look at all the levels, it says it's sending. If you want, here's
Hey,
what it looks
Alexa,
like. I'll show you. See, there's
play the Jeopardy song.
I can just put the microphone by it. It's playing all these tracks here.
Is that one working?
Yep. See, if I unplugged all this fancy stuff, it would probably work.
I got this $49 Alexa going here. She doesn't like it. All right, an hourly employee at the minimum level of the pay range. There are no job openings in the next pay range, which is the best approach to reward employee for exceptional performance without adjusting the base wage rate. Incentive pay, garnishing, that's not it. Performance bonus, improving pay. So we call it pay adjustment. So it could be incentive pay, right? Performance bonus, one-time non-pensionable bonus. Incentive pay, premium pay. Not all at once, guys. Ooh, nice. It's the performance bonus. Maximum of the pay range. There's no job openings, which is the best approach to reward employee for exceptional performance without adjusting the base rate. That's a good point. So the bonus is the one-time money, right? Okay. Appreciate that. Nice job. What is the advantage of non-qualified deferred compensation plans? Trying to figure out where that dog was. Hey, what's up, Paul? What is the advantage of non-qualified deferred compensation plans? They provide incentives for key executives to stay with the organization. They provide more favorable tax advantages to employers than qualified plans. They protect the plan's funds from creditors in the event that the failure of the business. They allow all company employees to contribute more than the limits prescribed in the qualified plans. What's the advantage of non-qualified deferred compensation plans? Is there one? Key executives to stay in the organization so that they can just stash extra money up to the maximum. So A. Right, A it is. Nice job. A competency-based approach works best in an environment that fosters which of the following? Acquiring knowledge that a skill that enhances employee performance and satisfaction, focusing predominantly on the seniority and longevity versus performance, comparing inputs and outcomes by employees of those of their peers, linking measures of quality or goals, individual performance. Competency-based approach. So that's how much they know, not what they can actually do. Is that how that goes down? It's about who you know, not what you know. A. Right. Differential piece rate pay system works best for which type of environment? So piece rate pay system. When the current employee skill set meets the recognized, needs need to be recognized while encouraging individuals to increase skills and knowledge. When the focus is on what the employee can become as opposed to what skills they already have. A lot of potential there, John, a lot of potential. When the managers need flexibility to determine who should be paid what rate when the employees are hired, a link between the attainment of goals or achievement and the level of desired pay that is needed. So piece rate pay system. That's a good answer about like what they think they're going to be one day, not what they are right now. A, ooh, I see a D. I didn't think about D. When the link between the attainment of the goals or achievement and the level of the desired pay is needed. I don't know. I don't usually go a different answer than her. Oh. Feeling pretty strong there, Mary? Feeling strong? Feeling strong. She is, of course she is. How should an HR leader evaluate the organization's return on labor expenses? By reviewing the overall employee output compared to the employee sales revenue, by the number of high performers compared to low performers in the organization, through a well-crafted pay-for-performance program that measures the performance compared to goals, by adding salaries, overtime benefits, and bonuses, and then dividing by the total costs. John, did you just like throw a dart at the board there, buddy?
Did I throw a dart?
Yeah, you just came out strong with a D there. Right? Adding salaries, overtime benefits, and bonuses, then driving the total cost.
I got to take a guess at something.
Hey,
These are getting harder.
seems like you're nailing it, bro. Like that's like everybody else has got that.
Well, people are following my lead. I get that. Mary kind of follows what I do in some of these. So,
It's respectable.
oh, Shelly's going against the grain with a C, but she's right. No,
She nailed it last second with the C. You know, and came in on us for the last second. Nice job. I don't know that one. Sad part is that's where I came up at HR was compensation, and I just totally just blew that. We didn't have piece rate pay though. I don't know about that one. Benefits and prerequisites. During the workforce planning session, HR identifies that within 5 years, 25% of the workforce will be nearing retirement age. The organization wants to ensure that there is a steady recruitment of the new generation. Which activity during the benefits needs assessment is most relevant to the recruitment strategy? Analyzing the workforce demographics, review the organization's management structure, review the strategy of the organization's competitor, steal it, that's right. Analyze the utilization data on all benefit plans. So a quarter of your workforce is leaving in the next 5 years, and you're going to figure out what the neighbors are doing. Right?
that's quite clever right there.
Analyze the workforce demographics. What do you need? What do you got? What are you going to have? I'm a big fan of A myself. John picked A. We're going A for sure. Shelly snuck D in right there.
Oh,
Lights. Come
we got
on.
hosed.
Little
And
heads up
Shelly
on
nailed it again. Mary, stop following my lead. You know I'm not reading these.
That's funny. It's the assume that the workforce demographics have already been analyzed. So they're assuming that you've already looked at your employees. They could have said that. When conducting a benefits needs assessment, what is the next step HR should take after analyzing the designs and utilization data for all benefit plans? Analyze the current and projected demographics of the organization's workforce. Review the organization's total rewards philosophy, compensation approach, and related objectives. Review the organization's strategy to align with the current benefits offered. Compare organizational needs, employee needs, and current benefit offerings. So they're doing the benefit needs assessment. They want to know what we're going to do after analyzing the design and utilization plan. After that, think how it fits to the strategy, compare the needs, future benefits. John says
Shelley's
D.
on a roll. Shelley's on a roll. I copied her. She's got the last few right.
You came in with D, or was that the last
I gave
one?
up on Mary.
Mary says D is correct. All right, we're back on a roll, one in a row. When creating a benefits program, which is a legal factor, which key legal factor does the HR benefit leader need to keep in mind? Public, national, and bank holidays. No. How much paid time off the organization offers? What government regulated programs are provided? Types of involuntary termination severance packages. The key legal factors benefit leader needs to keep in mind. Paid time off is expensive. What government regulated programs are provided? I don't know what that's got to do, but there's a couple, there's like 4 C's. Everybody got C. Jon went with C, A and C. All right. I don't like it, but it's the right answer. Good job. HR is in the process of recruiting senior level position for global organization. Which benefit might distinguish the organization from the competition? Club membership, Social Security, unemployment insurance, termination payments. That's one thing we always write into our contracts for the senior management is how much severance you get. You know. It is dark, you're right. You go in thinking you're going to get fired. You know, the life expectancy of a county administrator is less than 3 years. So we kind of factor that in there. Everybody's got D, Jon. You got D, termination payments.
I do. That was the golden parachute in the tech days, you know, when you came in early.com and startups, it's all about what kind of parachute. So is that's what they still call that now, or is that old term?
That's good. That's your fall plan. Good job. Nope, not today. I don't know what the club membership, I don't know what kind of club they're talking about. Like I see what they're saying. Look at that. So if I get a golf club membership, that's going to attract me more than money in my bank. Right? That sucks. Different countries, global. To better meet the growing needs for new parents in a balanced work with family, which program should HR include as part of the organization's employee benefits? Flexible work schedule? Yes. Unlimited unpaid leave. Automatic increased vacation time, employee assistance program. Flexible work schedules standing right out there quick, huh? A, perks. Work-life balance, we're all about it. We got 60%, we knocked that one out of the park. People are gonna watch this too. Organization, we got time here. Let's do the next one here. Role of HR. Which activity most effectively conveys HR's value as a strategic business partner? Presenting the success rate of HR's latest training initiatives to the company's executive team, showing how the company's marketing strategy needs to be adjusted to further penetrate its targeted market, ensuring that all employee background checks are adequately conducted to protect the company from risk. That's a good one. Providing information to internal stakeholders that shows HR's impact on other departments, segments of business operations. Most effectively conveys HR value as a strategic business partner. So Jon came out with an A. Mary, A.
Now was old.
Shelley came in with a D. Providing information on internal stakeholders that shows HR's impact on other department segments as business operations. They did use the buzzwords in there, right? There we go. Firing. What activity is considered an HR strategic responsibility? Identifying HR trends in social media, ensuring that transactions are processed correctly, supporting the organization's core business functions, outsourcing core HR function activity. Payroll, we don't need to do payroll. Can't make any money off payroll. HR strategic responsibility.
I nailed that one.
Supporting organization's core business functions.
I know.
All right. To reduce its manual workload, the HR department implements a secure web-based system that allows employees to manage their personnel and payroll information. The system provides access to information related to earnings, taxes, benefits, and vacation leave balances, and allows employees to update information for their tax withholding, direct deposits, the retirement fund allocation. What aspect of HR's role will be reduced? Strategic, transformational, administrative, or operational? So that's going down, right? There's a lot less working with numbers. C's. That's like those automatic checkouts at Walmart, right? That's just taking our jobs right out of our hands. Which best describes how HR should be involved in strategic planning process to serve their organization, acting as a consultant to leadership and other functions on HR issues. Critiquing and assessing input and contributions of strategic planning participants, assuming the sole responsibility for making decisions on matters related to HR. Focus on accurately representing the needs of the HR department to management. They don't care what we need, right? We are facilitators in HR. That's what we do. We facilitate. We lead best when other people are out front. Okay. Yes? Hey. Right. How can HR provide the most value in the strategic planning process? By serving as a facilitator in the planning sessions, by identifying the HR implications of the company's strategy, by recruiting other personnel to take part in the process, by critiquing the finished plan for alignment within the corporate goals. HR can provide the most value in the strategic planning process. B, implications in the company's strategy, maybe? B. John, B?
Yep, B it is.
It is. All right. Nice job. You guys got time for one more? Or you want to call it a night? One more. Maybe last one. Last one of the season.
Of the season? There's a season for this stuff?
Yeah, it's all over, man. We fall right along with the NFL. We're just like, when the NFL's done, we stop studying. There's a testing. It goes along with the testing window. So the testing window ends like the 15th of February.
Got it.
So can't study during off season. What is the ultimate function of the executive management? To implement strategy through planning and directing initiatives at all levels in each function. A lot of work. To be responsible for the all core business functions and their effect on the organization's performance. To serve as the primary interface with the organization stakeholders, from investors to regulators to customers to communities. To lead the organization through shared vision and values they model in all interaction. I like B. Probably wrong, but I like it. So the ultimate function of executive management. They're the mission vision, right? B or D? I like D. Mary, D. Lori, D. John, D. And it's B. Of course it's B.
I told you it was B. I said B.
I told you B. You got fat fingers on that one, sorry. Which part of the organization is responsible for assembling products? Information technology, that's not. Invitation to distribution, product design, operations. D. D. Why is it important for HR director to establish internal partnerships with the managers of each business unit? To demonstrate how HR can provide business unit value. To acquire the support of the business units when necessary. To approve the majority of requests from the business units. To make future decisions without input from business units. So we learn about it and we don't listen to anybody anymore once we've heard it once. A or B, Shelley says. So not D, not C. Lori said D. D, to acquire the support of business units when necessary. There you go. If you make buddies with them, right? You call them up, they're going to answer. That's like John. John took my text. He's still regretting it right now.
What did I take? I took your text?
Yeah, when you took that's like this one, the answer to this one. You establish internal partnerships. And then when you need them, you can call on them and they'll answer. Only once though. They only answer once.
Oh,
Damn, Shelly nailed that.
Ellie pulls through.
HR can provide the business unit value. Got to show your worth every day, huh? What is likely to be the most concern for Chief Information Officer or RT Director? HRS features and capabilities, intranet technology, security, ERP sponsorships. Most concern to the CIO. Well, HR is going to deal with that one. Intranet's the internal system. C, somebody says security. Yeah, that's what costs you the most money these days when you get caught. Let's see. Which core business function is primarily concerned with understanding customers and competitive threats and producing revenue? Operations, research and development, information technology, marketing and sales. Anyone? D, marketing and sales. Oh, B. Research and development. Core, understanding customers. Oh, there we go. Research. All right. D. I just flipped to B, Lane. Amy. I don't know what happened there. B or D? Johnny, B or D?
D, marketing and sales.
This guy,
Yeah.
Guy comes off the bench and nails it.
R&D is product development, not competitive development.
I like it. Got a little picture here of people we've got on there. If you guys could wave real quick, say hi. Number 3. Well, John, why don't you tell us something that'll give us a little inspiration? You know, we've seen enough of my wrong answers. Something about your human experience. You pull within the human experience. You talk a lot about like that in the past, haven't you? You got any words of wisdom for us today?
You know, I did a neat program today. It was for the National Association of Federal Credit Unions, and it was about the human connection and what's going to happen when we've moved to this digitalization and virtualization process of connecting and then service, and what aspects of those are going to stay when we actually go post-pandemic. It was a fascinating discussion, but what you can't change is the fact that whether it is digital side or a human connection personal side, it is those member-centric, personally centric moments that people are going to continue to remember. If you tie it to the magic side, it's like when you create that surprise and delight, you have that first moment of the surprise factor in magic, then you have that follow-up 2 beats later, which is that mind-blowing, and that's what people are going to still be drawn toward, those elements and connections and people that really surprise them, delight them, and make them feel special about who they are. So how can we continue to do that as HR leaders in every imaginable way? It would be great. Help your culture, your team, and your people really feel unique and special in their own skin, no matter how they connect with your company. That's what we talked about today.
Wow, that was just like the whole kickoff there. That's good. You know, we kind of go in circles. You know, we created a program for, you know, the telecommuting, and then the pandemic hits, and then everybody misses the water fountain. Is that kind of what you're getting at? You want to lead that interpersonal actions?
Well, it's not. I think some people are going to, it depends. I mean, actually, I have a question for everyone before you go too, by the way, but can I ask that? And then I'll answer your question just so I don't forget. I know everyone has to go. So this is my assistant. Now this I'm looking for HR advice. I had to go back. So her son is interviewing, and I gotta get to that last question. When they do, Alex doesn't want his boss knowing that he's buying a new house because he's trying to negotiate for more storage. Can a company like look up if he's buying property and stuff? I'm like, I don't know, but I know people will ask. Is that legal? Can you?
But there's certain jobs that you run your credit check on for certain jobs. Depends on which kind of job that they're after. But for the most part, I don't recommend anybody Googling anybody or looking them up on Facebook. I don't recommend them anything.
Like he says, do they calling for an employment verification so they can tell us who's calling? Doesn't want his boss knowing he's buying a new house. I don't know, just curious. I don't know why. Asking for a friend. Okay, never mind. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
So I guess you're talking about a different thing. So if an employee, if I work at a job and then I'm going to buy a new house and they're going to do an employment, they're going to do an income verification. Is that it? They're going to check his income on how much he makes. They're going to have to call the boss, right? Unless he gives them his own cell phone, his own office number.
Maybe so.
Right?
That's right. It's kind of funny when I file a loan, they call me for employment verification. Like, does Jon Petz work there? I'm like, yep, he does.
Yes, right?
He's the best.
Absolutely.
Excuse me.
That's good, man. Well, tell them good luck with that job.
Thank you.
Well, everybody, I really appreciate your time. I had a lot of fun, John. I appreciate it. I know you didn't have to do this. You're in the middle of moving. I can't wait to figure out where you're going in Florida next month, and hopefully it's on my side of the state and we can have a drink. I owe you one for this. I appreciate it.
I didn't do
next
anything.
time I
It's
see
nice
you.
to see people, but thank you.
I really like to appreciate all your guys' help going through these. I'll post some more coming up in the next session, and we'll get this posted on HR Florida as soon as possible so you guys can watch all my errors like I promised. And don't tell my boss, please. But thank you guys very much for your time. It's been a great couple study groups in a row. And if you ever need anything related to HR, we'll call Mary. Shelly was nailing it this time. Just don't call the county government guy. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you a lot. Have a great night. John, thanks again, sir.
Anytime. That was fun. Thanks.
Bye, guys.